Sandal, let's get started. I'll start record. Okay, let's start. Good morning and good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar. It's a pleasure to invite you all, and we appreciate your presence despite your busy schedule. You will benefit from what you learn here. Sendil Kumar is the presenter for today's webinar. He is one of the very strategic director with Casadara. I will give short overnote of Sendil and hand over the floor to him. Sendil, is the tech wizard who handles his coding one with remarkable skills. As the director of product development at Casadara, he is a digital mastermind who conjures up unique ideas that captivate competition. With a strong background in system architecture, infrastructure or optimization and automation, he ensures our platforms are resilient, scalable, and high performing. Sendil, who has a passion for technology as strong as a dragon's treasures of gold, leads a team of great brains, directing them like a wise old wizards and search for an ideal product. He is a driving force behind our technical successes from the moment an idea sparks to the grand finale of launch. So Sendil is the hands-on leader who bridges the gap between engineering, and operations, fostering a culture of innovations, accountability, and continuous improvement. Sendil, over to you. Sendil, I think you are in mute.
Hey, thank you, Muthu. Let me just share my screen. Yeah, so welcome to all today's webinar. So it is about how we can boost the efficiency and cut cost using the FacilitEasy. So and FacilitEasy, like it is an asset management software, and so maybe through this webinar, so we can cover the points on how effectively and efficiently we can monitor all the assets so within an organization, and I will cover all the problem statements which we are trying to address using FacilitEasy, and a couple of use cases so where it can be where it is actually used now, and how it is boosting the efficiency in a couple of industries. So that would be the agenda here. Okay, so FacilitEasy is an mobile first application. So it is a mobile first application. So the first question is like why it is a mobile first application. Like managing an asset is something like all the service engineers who is on the field who will be doing this task, and so it would be a a good option to have it as a mobile first approach, like because the engineers or the service technicians, so who are managing the assets, will have all the details in their hand. So this having that in a mobile, which simplifies the management, asset management, and uh, and recording any data from that asset. So those things can be done through mobile first approach. Like so that's why it has been created as a mobile first app. And then so after the first release and based on the user comments, so the people who are sitting in the office will also have to view the reports which is getting generated by the data collected in the facilities here. So to do that, the same features has been provided in as a web application as well. So with some extra reporting capabilities. So which would help the management team to take the decision based on the data. So like so any people, any person, a service engineer who is having the facilities here. So he will be having all the histories about that particular asset which he is servicing or fixing it. So all the service records or the services which has been done on that particular asset, so will be there. The history will be maintained, and all the images, if something is broken in that particular asset, like all the issues which is reported for that particular asset. So everything will be available handy for that user. So with this kind of information available for that technician, so he can do a proper maintenance or a proper fix. So because the same issue might have been reported in that particular asset earlier as well. So based on the previous resolution provided, the same thing can be provided here as well. So again, so this is the basic introduction about this FacilitEasy and what is the impact FacilitEasy is creating. So like with proper maintenance, like we can extend the assets life cycle by 10%. So let's say in an organization there are many more assets. So without any maintenance, well, so not all the assets will be maintained periodically, or so maybe based on our experience, so where we try to implement the facilities. So all of them were keeping all the asset details in an Excel. So again, that they won't be getting any notifications or any reminders about the maintenance. So that way, so there are chances like most of the assets might not be serviced on time. So with this, with implementing facilities for an asset, so it will be providing a timely reminder and then notification for the asset owner and then the technician to do the maintenance. When a asset is properly maintained, so in is properly maintained, so obviously that their life cycle or their lifespan will get increased by 10%. And then the same thing when it is maintained properly, so we can avoid any unnecessary maintenance cost. So that will decrease the maintenance cost by 20%. And then similar way, it's not about only maintenance. It's about if there is any issue reported in an asset, so because it is not maintained properly, so that would also affect their production line. So that affecting the production line means reduction in the production or the product output. So that can also be reduced if we are doing proper maintenance. And so these are some of the impacts where which facilities it creates. And using FacilitEasy, like the team can easily collaborate within them. Let's say in a manufacturing facility, so the people who are working in that assembly line can report an issue. Suppose, say, if a pulley in that assembly line is not working, so they can just take an image picture of the pulley, and they can create an issue for that particular asset, and that will be immediately reported to the asset owner, and the task can be assigned to the maintenance team, who can immediately who will be getting the notification immediately, and they can come and fix that particular issue. And then during this process, so all the three people, who is the person who has reported the issue, who is working on that issue, and who is the owner of that asset, can collaborate within them through FacilitEasy. So it's like a chat box or a chat room, so where they can provide their input, their comments, and then they can update any images or files to support their comments. So with this, so it will be allowing the users or the teams to communicate, to collaborate within them effortlessly. So again, with this, the productivity of the team will definitely improve. And then, so as uh, as we are um, collecting and doing all this data. So for an asset, so we can get the reports of the down. So based on the report, so we can just get the downtime of for each of the assets, and based on that data, so we can plan for some preventive maintenance. So then the planned period itself, before the planned period itself. So by doing this, so we can do early identification of issues, and then so if that is done, so the downtime will be reduced, and then obviously the maintenance cost, and then the lifetime of the asset so will get increased. So these are the impacts so which FacilitEasy will create. Okay, and then so these are some of the problem statements so which FacilitEasy is trying to solve. So previously, prior to FacilitEasy, so all the asset details and all the informations were stored in an Excel or a spreadsheet. So as I said earlier, so that won't be providing any notifications or any reminder mails to the users. So currently now we have an centralized asset management platform, so which will be available to all the users across the organization. And again, so all the users in the sense, so that is an option to uh, have a role-based access control. So based on the role of the user inside that organization, so we can that organization admin can manage or provide the values or provide the modules, so where they can view, update, or delete. So those permissions can be provided. So this is one of the problem statements, so which we are trying to solve using FacilitEasy. And then like if an asset, let's say we are having a solar meter, so which will be providing data. So in some of the organizations, so there is a technician who will be manually reading those data, and it will be getting updated. So in an Excel sheet again, like as these data were manually read and manually read, so there are rooms for manual errors, and then this process is actually an inefficient. Like so, on a weekly basis, a technician has to spend some time in collecting all this data. So what we have um, in FacilitEasy is like there is a module so which integrate with IoT, where all the data from the meters will be read by those devices, and that real-time data will be provided to FacilitEasy. So where we can use that real-time data. So for tracking any errors, let's say uh, if if there are any abnormal issues like in a meter, in a solar meter, like it usually used to generate a particular amount of electricity. But if that drops down to a certain level, so we can create an alert. We can create an alert that can be set up manually. So where we can, for each of the meters, so we can create some alerts, and based on the data which we are receiving, that can be reported to the users. Like this way, like we are reducing the manual errors, and then we are reducing the inefficiency of the process. Like uh, if these data were taken manually, so the user has to, engineer has to manually enter all those data, and then maybe a day or two, like after day or two, so they will be they have to go through the Excel data, and if on a particular day, if there is two in 2 or 3 days. So if there is a low power generation, so they will be identifying an issue and they will be reporting it. But in case of facilities, so everything is real time. Like if there is some down in that electricity production, like it will be tracked and reported immediately. And the other one is like the maintenance schedule, where again in the conventional method, so prior to facility, so it would be difficult. And like so with the current the facilities, like so all the task maintenance schedule so will be planned like for a particular quarter we can still plan for all the maintenance schedules, so and it can be assigned to the technicians. So when a technician arriving for a day, he will be getting all the list of data, so all the list of tasks which he has to perform for that particular day. So it includes all the a maintenance schedule which he has to done for all the assets. And so on, we'll be providing all the reminders for all the maintenance schedules. And so this will show some of the key features. So of FacilitEasy. So FacilitEasy is a cloud-based solution. So and then so when an organization procures this FacilitEasy, like so they can create multiple facilities, and then facility can be okay. So it may be a physical location, or maybe a department inside that physical location or something like that. So uh, separating a facility is up to the org admin how they want to physically separate um, the units inside their organization. So it supports multiple facilities. So assets can be created, and all the asset details can be maintained in the same place. Like if you are purchasing an asset, so all the bills related to that warranty card, any licenses, if it requires any AMCs which we have created for that particular asset, so everything can be tracked in the same place. And for all these AMCs and reminders can be set up. So all the asset as and we can still provide the technicians who can work on those assets. So everything can be done here. And maintenance tracking, any as part of the AMCs, if there are any services which is done as part of that AMC for that particular year, all those details will be can be maintained. And any point in time, anybody can view all the histories of each of the services which is done. And again, so if any issues is created as part of that asset, so that can also be tracked, and life cycle of that particular asset can be tracked. And the one another thing is the QR code. Like so based on so if an asset is added into facilities, so we can create a QR code, So that can be bulk printed and that can be sticked on an asset. So by doing that, like when a technician is going to service a particular asset, he can just scan that QR code. So when scanning that QR code, so that particular asset details will be displayed or opened in FacilitEasy. So that it will be easy for the technician to identify an asset. So instead of searching that asset in that in FacilitEasy, he can still scan the QR code and get see all those values. And then, so one another thing is about the task management. So we can create multiple types of tasks. So be it a preventive maintenance task can be created. So if an issue is reported, so we can just create some other task to fix that particular issue. So after issue is reported, so a task can be created, and some other repetitive task like for meter reading, if the user wants to enter in the value for a meter in a particular interval of time, so that can also be done. So these are different tasks, different types of tasks, so that can be managed. And service contract is the AMC contract, so which can be added. So where we can integrate these details along with the vendor details. So where all the vendor details and then the service agreements can, and then the service which they have done as part of the service contract, so will be available as part of this service contract itself. And meter reading is one of the things which we already discussed about reading the data using the IoT. So we have a module to support that as well. File management, um, like all the files for a particular asset. So not only for an asset, so be it a service contract or task management. So all these things will be having some files to be tracked as part of these data, these records. So and FacilitEasy supports extensive file types, so that can be attached and later to view that, so it can be downloaded and viewed. Reports, yes. So on the web version, so we are providing some predefined reports, so where the management team can go through, and then there is an option to customize the reports as well. So where they can create the reports for which suits their needs. And then user permissions, like that org admin can create multiple roles which suits their requirements, and that can be assigned to multiple teams or users, so that we can authorize the user to view only particular functionalities or modules inside FacilitEasy. So quickly, a couple of use cases, so which is used across different industries. So one is the manufacturing industries, where uh, where we'll be maintaining all the assets. So here predominantly we were maintaining all the assets in a particular assembly line. So where that maintenance, so all the assets which is there for which is as part of their main assembly line, and then where we'll be monitoring the maintenance schedule. And for some of the movable assets, so we are also tracking the location of the particular asset. So within organization or a facility, so that that can be tracked easily. So this using in the manufacturing industry. So these are the key features of which of features of FacilitEasy, which is helping them to boost their maintenance, the asset performance. Like the role-based act, we have this preventive maintenance, and we can measure the output. And as it is centrally managed, So all the breakdown time or breakdown reports is easily available to all the people to view. Okay. So, and similarly, the same thing is used in educational institutions as well. So, where FacilitEasy is providing the same kind of features. So, which boost or because which reduces their what is it, so mostly all the most of the assets in an educational institutions were not at all maintained. So after introducing FacilitEasy, so they are maintaining, doing proper maintenance, so which is increasing their assets lifetime. So within the educational institutions, similar thing for an construction industry as well, like this for doing the service and calibration. So for each of the tool, like mostly in the construction industries, so some of the tools has to be calibrated for the proper working of the particular tools. So those kind of tools can be calibrated using this preventive this scheduled maintenance. So tasks. So using that, it this calibration can be done. Like so, it was very helpful using in a construction industry. One of the client, one of our client is using that. And in IT companies as well, like so till now we are just discussing about hardware assets. So asset management, this facility also supports to keep track of softwares as well. So because in an IT company, software is also an asset. So that is also can be managed using facilities. Like so, these are some of the use cases across the industry, so which we are using. So yeah, I think we are running out of time. Like yeah, so I'm done. So any questions?
Team, anybody has any questions? Okay. So thanks, Senthil, and thanks for your enlightening speech and really it's a deep diving about the FacilitEasy and you bring that few use cases, how that FacilitEasy which is used in this industry, how they have saved their asset and their cost and operation cost and those things. It was very useful sessions and it will be help. It is a very useful product as well. So if there is any queries, then contact Senthil and he will be happy to answer your questions. Thank you all. Thanks once again for your valuable time to support your attend these sessions. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.